And you'll notice that it has this honeycomb sticker on it, and this is your flow sensor, and you'll notice that one end has a honeycomb on it. So honeycomb to honeycomb, so we're going to match those up, and you'll see that there's two little holes in here, and there's these two little silver prongs in there. So I'm going to, at a 90-degree angle, align those prongs with those holes and just kind of get it started in there. I'm going to press down to snap it in. You want to avoid kind of coming at an angle and forcing it in. It is possible, I've seen it happen, that you can scrape a bit of the plastic and it will occlude the umbilical. Also, any kind of fluid, secretions, God forbid, will also occlude your umbilical. So I recommend having a spare umbilical on hand.
Okay. I'll order one of those.
Just in case you have to change it out or something. If it does get liquid, let's say, for example, you're wiping everything down and you just pulled the last wipe out of the bucket and it's dripping wet, and you get water or that fluid from the cleaning solution in there, it's going to occlude your umbilical. So this is constantly sampling up. It has a little bit of a vac pull on it, so that's how it's sampling the patient breath. So it does have the ability to pull water or fluid or whatever up in there. So I always like to keep the umbilical in the upright position even when I'm doing patient testing. So honeycomb to honeycomb, honeycomb to patient, because they're sweet like honey.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
So easy to remember. So for purposes of calibration, the syringe is our patient, so I have that facing there. I like to start, because these are new syringes, I just want to give this a couple, withdrawals and injects just to make sure that the plunger is moving smoothly, it's not sticking. So I've already zeroed the flow, so now I can either click on the start button or I can use the space bar to start, and I'm going to follow these prompts to withdrawal. I'm going to pause until I see the word inject appear, and then I'll push the plunger in. So again, it doesn't matter if I start with a slow or a fast or a medium flow rate. You don't have to be right on the dotted line. It's a target, so as long as you're in the neighborhood. So I'm going to pause, do a little jazz hands if you want. I see the word inject. So I'm going to try to match that flow rate. You'll notice with my hand on the plunger, I'm just at a very nice, steady, even flow rate here. And I'm pushing it all the way in. And so now, again, I'm just going to continue following the prompts withdrawal. So the next one I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do the fast one. And when this is new, a new calibration, it does take a bit of time to kind of get the feel of those different flow rates. And now you'll see that I have a red box up here, and if you look closely you can see that my flow line is just slightly above my 3-liter volume, so it's probably not going to pass calibration, so I'm just going to stop. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a reset to help it relearn what that 3 liters of volume is. So I'm going to start with 0 in my flow again. And this time, to do that reset, I'm just doing 1 medium flow out, 1 medium flow in, and then I'm going to stop. Zero my flow, and then I'm going to begin again. The most common technical errors that happen during calibration usually occur with the slow and the fast stroke. And what happens with the fast is that I don't pause long enough before I inject, and it doesn't measure the full 3 liters. What happens with the slow is that I'm going so slow here, because I'm concentrating on the line that it recognizes it as a stop. And here you can see I didn't measure 3 liters of volume. If I'm doing that fast, I don't pause long enough, again, I don't measure that 3 liters of volume. So again, I'm going to stop, 0 flow, and then do that reset. And you'll notice this time when I do that medium flow, my flow line is going to extend beyond my 3-liter limit, which is okay because it's relearning or resetting to 3 liters. I'm going to stop. Never hurts to 0 flow. And this time when I start, you'll notice that my flows are right back to the targets where they need to be, to 3 liters. Again, it doesn't matter the order that you do these in. And even though there are only 4 red dotted lines, you're actually going to do 5 withdrawals and 5 injects. So you just keep going basically until you don't have prompts. Until you satisfied all the withdrawal and inject prompts. So the slower I move it, the more to the right my flow line will go. The faster I move the plunger, the more to the left my flow line will be. And when you're successful, the yellow brick road turns to green and says, woohoo, you passed. And then at that point, we're gonna save. Okay? So I'm gonna let you guys practice that.